So how do we measure when a character has been defeated? In simple terms, how much armor you're wearing that's protecting you and how much life force is left in your character's body is measured by armor points and body points. When you strike your target with a weapon, you call the damage that the weapon does out loud. In this case, it's 2 normal and 1 normal.
2 normal. 1 normal.
This damage will deplete their armor points first. When your armor points reach 0, you must call breach.
5 normal, 5 normal, 5 normal, breach. 5 normal, 5 normal.
This is to signify that the player's armor is broken and no longer defending their body points. At 0 body points, your character becomes unconscious for 5 minutes. After 5 minutes of unconsciousness, they gain 1 body point and become semi-conscious. When you've been reduced to 1 body point, your character becomes semi-conscious. Any movement faster than a walk or the use of any skill or ability will be successful, but drop your character to 0 body and render them unconscious. Your character will remain semi-conscious for 5 minutes, after which they will gain 1 body point and become conscious again. If you take enough damage and you're reduced to -1 body point, your character falls into their 1-minute bleed count. During this time, your character is bleeding out and unconscious. When this happens, you must immediately start counting 1 minute silently in your head. If no one heals your character during this time, your character dies and falls into their 5-minute death count. During this time, your character's soul is hovering over their body, and if no one manages to save you now, after 5 minutes is up, your character's body dissipates. You stand up out of game, drop all your character's items and money, and proceed to the Shaper's Camp to follow through with the resurrection process. Now you might be wondering how your character could be saved from such tragic fates. Well, there's magical, alchemical, and skill-based healing available in Underworld, the specifics of which can be found obviously in the rulebook, but here are the basics. If you're in your 5-minute death count, a life spell or similar effect will revive you to full health. If you're in your 1-minute bleed count, any healing received will bring you up to 1 body point. If you're at 0 body points or higher, all healing effects act as normal up to your maximum body point total. Also, there are many different types of damage that you could take in game, so I'm just going to cover a few of the basics here. Body damage bypasses any armor points you have and deducts its damage directly from your body point total. Sometimes certain spells or abilities will do elemental damage. If you get reduced to -1 body by elemental damage, you'll bypass your bleed count and drop directly into your 5-minute death count. So how do we know for sure when someone's armor points or body points have run out? Unlike computer games, we don't have a digital heads-up display telling us how much strength our enemies have left. So we go by what we call the honor system. Basically, it means you keep track of your own armor and body points. If you run out, go down. If everybody follows the same rules, it keeps the game fair and fun. We really don't have problems with it, so just don't be a douchebag. It's a common rule, don't be a douchebag, you know. Sometimes there are close calls on the field of battle. To help reduce arguing and to keep the flow of combat going, we have a rule called Defender's Call. This means that if the defending player says you didn't hit them, then you didn't hit them. Lay on and keep fighting. If you notice a player abusing this rule for some reason, then just let a plot member or a shaper know. They'll keep an eye on the reported player, and if they find they're actually making trouble, then they'll be dealt with accordingly.